similar to Nigel in the sense that I prepared something very loosely around the topic of what do you need to be successful. Clearly, if I had a fail-safe recipe, I wouldn't be here tonight, as delightful as it is to be here tonight. So it's one of those things, it's a work in progress, but something that I would like to share are potentially really obvious things, but the first of them is do try to listen. Someone said once wisely, we were given 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we should do the listening and talking in that proportion, if at all possible. I come from a banking background, and it's one of those environments where you are almost compelled to prove and show to everyone beyond doubt how brilliant you are. So in order to do that, then you take every opportunity to make a little personal performance. I would urge you to kind of curb that type of temptation. It's always with clients. It's always better to listen than to talk. Listening is, and I don't mean that type of listening where one just sits there biding time and waiting to speak. It's genuine listening where you actually where you engage with people and try to see their point of view and where they're coming from. That will obviously ensure that what you then tell them and what services you present to them are directly relevant to their situation, rather than just being a display of wonderful ability, but not necessarily relating to their own case. Very closely linked to that is, and picking up on Jane's point, is never assume. We have been incredibly fortunate to work with some of the very successful and very accomplished and very well-known people. And it often happens that you actually assume that they are brilliant in every area of their life, that they know everything there is to know about investments, about financial planning, about structuring, that their own personal lives are just completely flawlessly executed exercise. And trust me, they're not. Clearly people may be incredibly successful and knowledgeable in one area, but they might not know much in another. As I say, I come from investment side, and it's such a complex field. I remember at the beginning of my career, I was incredibly faced by people like investment bankers. I thought they knew everything there was to know, and then you actually realize that they probably know a huge amount about a very narrow area. They don't necessarily know about other areas that are relevant for long-term planning. And you will find, if you listen carefully, in most cases, you can add value because people wouldn't have thought about a particular angle. This is also something that we find in the industries that we operate in. They are clearly, as we know, heavily regulated, and people stick to the point that Jane made. People stick to their own area. Lawyers tend to look after, obviously, legal side of people's affairs. Accountants tend to concentrate on that area, and you find that there are not many people who have that helicopter view of everything. And these areas, as we chatted before this event, they are multidisciplinary. There is a number of fields that are closely related, and it's very useful to have that overarching view. So don't be phased, don't think that people know everything, don't think that they have considered every angle. So do take interest, do ask relevant, intelligent questions, and see where you can add value. And finally, one final point, do try to adopt what's been aptly termed growth mindset. This is not a plug for a book, by the way, but if you come across that book, I think it's worth reading. I think when you're at the beginning of your professional life and generally younger, you do tend to take a slightly fatalistic view of things. If this fails, I will never recover. Or if I don't win this deal, or if I'm not engaged by this client, that is the end of the world. It isn't actually. All of these are just opportunities to learn. You will find the more you do, the more polished you get. So take every opportunity as a chance to get more polished. That's all.